from the studios of Farm Journal Broadcast.
We're at the AgTech Expo. Here's what's coming up on AgDay. We'll showcase some of the technology that will drive American ag into the decades ahead.
Nothing like that is on the market.
We'll hear from developers who are making this technology possible. Also from the Ag Department, it unveils its December supply-demand tables for grains. Plus, we'll analyze those numbers and see where ag technology is taking markets into the future.
From technology on a second-to-second basis, round the clock, around the world, so you have to really stay on your toes to keep up with it.
AgDay, presented by the Chevy Silverado. High-strength steel for high-strength dependability.
Hello and welcome to this special edition of Ag Day. I'm Clinton Griffiths. We're here on the floor of the AgTech Expo, the first annual AgTech Expo here in Indianapolis, Indiana. With so many changes happening in technology these days, what better than to get everyone into one place so farmers and growers can learn about what's new and what the future holds. Hundreds of people on hand in attendance this week, set to race toward a future that's certain to include increasing amounts of technology. Now, before we get to the latest and greatest in what technology has to offer, let's start with what's going on in the news. The U.S. Department of Ag releasing its December supply-demand reports, ending stocks for the 2017-18 crop come in at 2.4 billion bushels, slightly lower than pre-report estimates. The Ag Department raising corn use for ethanol by 50 million bushels. Soybean ending stocks pegged at 445 million bushels, a bit higher than pre-report estimates. The increase in stocks is due to reduced exports of U.S. soybeans. Wheat ending stocks coming in at 960 million bushels. Pro Farmer's Brian Grady looking through the ledgers.
When we break it down, I really don't see anything in this report that has lasting price impacts. I think that over the course of the next couple of weeks, the far greater impact will be South American weather and what happens there, how the funds decide to position themselves for the last couple weeks of 2017 and into the early part of 2018.
The Ag Department pushing its cotton production forecast slightly higher to 21.4 million bales. It's less than 1% above its November forecast and 25% over last year. The national average yield for cotton, 902 pounds per bale, which would be a record yield for the U.S. We also have new numbers from the Florida orange groves, a portion that sustained severe damage from the Hurricane Irma. The Ag Department puts the Florida all-orange forecast at 46 million boxes. That's a decline of 8% from last month and 33% lower than last year's final utilization. While all that's happening here at AgTech, we've got some of the biggest experts in the world on hand. In fact, during Tuesday's broadcast of AgriTalk Radio, I spoke to one of the top geospatial experts for Google, Ed Parsons, about the future of information and more specifically data. Someone bringing a simple solution, is that where you leap over these edges?
I think you're absolutely right, and that will be a solution. I don't think it's going to be Google that's doing that. I think here at the Expo there are many more likely candidates that will really do what we do at Google, which is focus with laser precision on what a user need is. What's the thing that really makes a difference that might be it's saving someone a few minutes every day, but over the period of a year that makes a really big difference. Or it's a niggly little thing that can be fixed. Yeah. And it's really understanding what that user requirement is will allow you to get the success. And I think it's in this room. It's the people here, the people that read your journal will have that knowledge.
Google and other mega tech companies are starting to see agriculture as a real opportunity. Tyne Morgan joins us now from the floor of the show with more on technology and agriculture.
Thanks, Clinton. Well, economic headwinds within U.S. ag may be sticking around for a while. Rabobank's Food and Agribusiness Research Group says the key to survival for U.S. row crop farmers is transforming their business. One way to do this is through adopting new technology that drives greater yields. And while there's a lot of buzz around technology and what's the latest and the greatest, agriculture may just be at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to fully utilizing technology to grow efficiency on the farm.
From controlling irrigation from your smartphone to capturing harvest data on the go, technology in agriculture continues to evolve.
We've seen a period of investment in ag tech, digital agriculture, precision farming, there's been tremendous dollars invested.
Companies like Google have even jumped into agriculture via Google Venture, investing in companies like the Farmers Business Network. But not every idea being launched is winning over farmers. Dino Giacomazzi is one of those farmers who gets technology. He says the buzz surrounding drones is loud, but drones are more of a toy than a tool for farming.
With satellite data and satellite technology now, we can get it so much quicker and cheaper than flying drones.
Giacomazzi says there's often a disconnect between the people creating the technology and the ones actually using it on the farm.
A lot of technology is being developed looking for a problem versus problems looking for technology.
He says in many cases, adoption rates are slow because the technology is ahead of the curve.
But I think regulation and labor particularly, I think is really going to drive automation. I think there's a lot of interesting things happening in robotics and automation right now that weren't happening before. I think that's where the best opportunities in tech are.
Those opportunities may not be here today, but he says it's closer than many think.
I think we're kind of in a AgTech 1.0 phase right now, and that in another 5 to 10 years, we're going to see new emerging ideas in terms of sensor technology and other things that are going to be much cheaper and solve problems for this next sort of generation.
While many are focused on the millennial generation, a new survey revealing the habits of Gen Z, or the 18 to 22-year-olds. The survey by Osborne and Bauer and its Ag Advisory Council shows technology will take center stage for Gen Z.
This generation, they're not only comfortable with technology, they're immersed in it. And really, they have been exposed to technology since they've been here, since they've been on this planet.
Fordyce says that means Gen Z may potentially drive ag companies to introduce technologies at a faster pace.
But this generation, when people stand in line, for 2 days to get an iPhone 10, that is demanding new technology. And I think this generation will be maybe the first generation that will start demanding innovation technology that comes sooner.
It's running 216 yield, 13 moisture.
Right behind us?
Yeah, right behind us right now.
While the verdict is still out on whether some technology on farms today provides an ROI, production practices will continue to change, even evolving as a result of consumers' desires.
We love this idea that without us, nobody's going to eat. What are you going to do if we don't give it to you, right? I mean, this is an attitude that has taken down monopolies like Kodak.
He says the key to survival is simple.
We survive by listening and trying to understand what's in it for the other people, the people who would ultimately disrupt us, and either find the opportunity for them in what we're doing or find the opportunity for us in what it is that they believe.
The technology used to meet those needs could make farming even more efficient, pushing limits to the sky and setting a new path toward the future.
The man who always seems to have his finger on the future, we have meteorologist Mike Hoffman in today's Crop Comments. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Clinton. Hey, that AgTech Expo looks pretty interesting. Of course, if you see any weather gadgets, you know who might want one. Now to Crop Comments, Betsy Gibbon is on the road. She snapped this photo at Silent Night Evergreens Tree Farm in Endeavor, Wisconsin. The farm supplied Christmas trees for the White House this year. One of the trees is in President Trump's executive residence also. We'll share their family story during our annual Christmas in the Country special, airing on Christmas Day. And taking a look at the weather map today, it's actually the root zone moisture. You can see the dry areas continuing to develop in the central Mississippi Valley. We'll have your forecast coming up, but first here are some hometown temps.
Farm Journal On Air is the go-to app for American agriculture. AgDay, AgriTalk, U.S. Farm Report, and more. 24/7 access to all of your favorite shows, TV and radio. In your hands, on demand. Farm Journal On Air. Download the app today.
All right, when we come back, we'll talk about the impact technology is having on markets and global production. And later, are we standing on the cusp of a technological revolution? I think yes. I'll explain on In the Country.
Receive a free trial of the Daily Grain Plan newsletter from Roach Ag Marketing. Text Roach to 31313. Start your subscription today by texting Roach to 31313.
I found Jim Bauer, Bauer Trading here at the AgTech Expo. Jim, let's talk about technology and the way that it's changed, not just production agriculture, but the markets in general. You've witnessed a lot of this in your time.
Yes, after 40 years of trading, I've seen about every scenario that you can think of, good and bad. But I think the difference in the last 5 years from a technology standpoint has made the difference with all the traders, not the big ones, the small ones, the intermediate sized ones. Everybody's affected by it in some way or other.
Right.
From a market standpoint, again, I miss the old board of trade because of the harmonious relationships that we have with a lot of the people, but the feedback is not there like it used to be. But now you get feed from technology on a second-to-second basis, round the clock, around the world, so you have to really stay on your toes to keep up with it.
Yeah. From the trading standpoint to just the production standpoint, you know, these yields continue to go up. And I think you and I have talked about in the past about how this technology has really driven this increase in production, and that's impacting our prices and probably isn't going away.
Yes, and I think this year, 2017, was particularly oriented towards an improvement in hybrids. Yeah. There was 4 or 5 hybrids that really kicked out really high yields, and most of that was due to technology. To find the right one for next year, though, that's the question that we're going to take place. Right. The other thing is we don't have any bad farmers anymore. They're all good. And all the young people are very focused in on technology, more so than the older guys like myself. And I let the younger guys kind of help me with it. But if you don't follow it, you don't use it, you don't pay attention to it, you'll get left behind. And this is the classic example of the technology that's available to the farmers and ranchers right here in front of us today.
Yeah, where do you think it takes us? Does technology continue to work its way into our everyday life here on the farm? And do you think it impacts the prices as yields go up?
Well, that's a broad question, but I think in general the world is a much smaller place than it was even 5 years ago. The technology available, the communications that are available, the analysis that's available out of foreign countries does make a huge part of the price determination. So we have to use the technology to stay up with our competition, and we have to make sure that we're aware of what's going on around the clock around the world.
All right, Jim, thank you so much for being with us. We'll be back with more Ag Day from the AgTech Expo in just a minute.
For a free 2-week trial to Jim's daily global market letter, call Bauer Trading toll free at 1-800-533-8045. Ag Day, brought to you by Credenz soybean seed from Bauer, designed using smart genetics with tailored varieties to fit any field condition.
Welcome back to Ag Day. I'm meteorologist Mike Hoffman. We showed you this briefly earlier, but I wanted to take a little closer look at the root zone moisture. As we head into the winter, you can see there are a few wet areas across the Midwest. We had a lot more a month ago, so things have dried out some, but boy, have they really dried out from northeast Texas into west central Illinois. That whole area has been expanding. That's going to cause the drought monitor to get worse in that area as well. You can see some wet areas have developed in South Texas and central and southern portions of Florida as well. Let's take a look at the weather map. We can see the exiting storm system in the northeast. Still some snow with that one. Most of it along the mid-Atlantic coast and Florida is offshore. This one's diving across the Great Lakes. It'll put down 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches of snow depending on where you live there across parts of Wisconsin into the Great Lakes states. A little bit of rain on the far south edge, a little bit of upslope snow there in the eastern portions of the Rockies. High pressure holding like a big dam in the western part of the country, keeping things from coming east. Heading toward tomorrow morning, you can see that first system already getting ready to move offshore of the central mid-Atlantic coast there, and a few lake effect snow showers. Not a big event in this situation behind that storm though. And a weak system diving through the plain states that will spread a little bit of light snow and rain across parts of Nebraska and Kansas as we head through this afternoon. High pressure, though, dominating most of the lower 48. I will say this, though, we might actually start to see a storm system come into the Pacific Northwest for the first time in at least a couple of weeks. Precipitation estimate past 24 hours. You can see most of it has been in New England. Next 24 to 36, we'll have some light snow spreading southeastward from Minnesota all the way into Pennsylvania and West Virginia. A little bit out west too, but that's all pretty insignificant. You can see that on the snowfall map. Had a fair amount over the past 24 hours, but the next 36 will be mostly across the western and southern portions of the Great Lakes into the central portions of the mid-Atlantic states, but especially the mountains, Piedmont area. And we're looking at a little bit of snow in the upslope regions and a little bit across the Dakotas, but nothing major. High temperatures this afternoon, the cold stuff, Great Lakes in the northeast. Pretty mild once again in Texas. Low temperatures tonight, though, back down into the 40s there. Single digits, though, across the upper Great Lakes. And you can see highs tomorrow. Still cold in the Great Lakes, but mild down south. There's the jet stream. You can see we stay with this trough. Pieces of energy diving in through the rest of the week. Then it relaxes a little bit over the weekend. And here's interesting. Will we see the trough by Christmas week go west, or will it dive back into the east? I'm looking probably for the east. That's a look across the country. Now let's take a look at some local forecasts. First of all, for Prescott, Arizona, lots of sunshine and pleasant, high of 64 degrees. Spencer, Iowa, cloudy, a bit of snow and ice, high of 37. And finally, Raleigh, North Carolina, a good deal of sunshine and breezy, high temperature around 42 degrees.
All right, thanks, Mike. Coming up now, we're going to hit the floor here at Farm Journal's AgTech Expo for the latest and greatest technology soon to be at your farm. And is there a tech revolution already underway? I'll have an answer coming up.
AgDay, brought to you by Alivo Seed Treatment from Bauer. Protect your soybeans from SDS and nematodes this season.
One of the best things about walking through the expo is to see all of the technology that soon may end up on a farm near you.
Yeah, so what we think we can do with this technology is we think we can take it out into the field, manage the field. We can identify problems that we're having, nutrient deficiencies, pest infestations, herbicide-resistant weeds is a big one. And we hope to be able to provide that data to the farmers, to the growers, to the agronomists, and ultimately improve yields.
From robotics to attachments for your current machinery, this concept from AMVAC Chemical is called SimPass. It's a next generation in variable rate technology allowing a farmer to apply inputs in furrow during planting in a very specific and precise way.
We're bringing new technology to the market of prescriptively applying your micronutrients, your fungicides, your insecticides at a low concentrated rate that prescriptively, that nothing like that is on the market right now. So if you think of the inkjet printer, as it makes those little dots as it goes across the field, that's what we're doing. So at the areas that need the right amount of the right product, you apply, and those areas that don't need it, you do not apply.
When we come back, we'll talk about technology and the future that's already here.
In the Country, sponsored by Kubota. See the hardest working tractors in ag at Kubota.com or visit your local Kubota dealer today.
I've always thought my grandparents were possibly witness to the greatest technological advances in human history. From horses to cars, from the earth to the moon, paper and pen to handheld computers and the internet, it's amazing how far we've come since the 1920s. But have you noticed the major technological jumps happening right now? Self-driving cars and even autonomous tractors. Just this week, an Iowa company sent me information about how they can make any farm equipment you own autonomous. Now in the UK, an entire field was planted and harvested with robots and scouted by drone. John Deere just bought a tech company that built a sprayer that only sprays weeds as it crosses the field. Now we have robotic milkers, robotic feed pushers. Soon, strawberries are likely to be harvested by machine, apples too.
Oh, come here, give me a hug.
We all wanted hoverboards, jetpacks, and flying cars, and while that hasn't happened yet, hover bikes, can you imagine checking fields on that? And flying taxis are now on the horizon. NASA's even getting involved. But it's not just machines. What about the massive advancements in the biological sciences? In just the last few weeks, we've seen heavily muscled pigs, ultra-lean pigs, and even animals capable of growing human organs. New gene editing CRISPR technology stands to revolutionize what's possible in plants, animals, and humans. Now on the computer side, well, artificial intelligence is helping doctors and businesses, the ag industry, and its data may be a major focus. New estimates say that by the year 2020, more than 75 million agricultural connected devices will be in use, with the average farm expected to generate more than 4 million data points every day by the year 2050. Collecting it and using that information is the new frontier. So how do people process all of this information? Well, there's even a race to build a computer that can read and interface with the human brain, and they're getting close. Well, there are still kinks to work out, and this new high-tech world makes some people nervous. And maybe it's warranted. But like the horses left in the automobile's dust, it's our job to keep up, just like our grandparents did. That's all of our time here from the AgTech Expo in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Clinton Griffiths. Have a great day in farm country.
AgDay, brought to you by Ram Commercial, America's longest lasting heavy-duty pickups.